Okay, we are ready to go. This little diagram we got going here is pretty interesting. And last class decided to tell me like 15 really cool things about it. And their things they had to say were so good that I decided to ask some really upper level questions and see what I could draw out of them. And I think we drew like every concept out of this pendulum possible. So quickly just stare at the picture really, really quickly. Okay. Actually, if you want to stare at that going back and forth, go right ahead. Because you're getting very sleepy. And you want to give your science teacher your money. No, I'm just joking. All right, so let's go ahead and check this out really quickly. You got a pendulum swinging back and forth. If your eyesight's not that good, you might not be able to see some of the stuff up there, but we do have a red pendulum swinging back and forth. We've got a kinetic energy bar, potential energy bar. What I need some kids put their hands in the air and start telling me some things they see going on. And again, level of participation is going to dictate how quickly this goes. It also shows me the level that you're at. So if we don't get a lot of hands in there that can't say anything about this, then we're probably going to have to hang out here for a while. If all of a sudden I got tons of people with their hands in the air and you start throwing stuff at me, then we're probably going to wrap mechanical energy today and get into electricity when we start shocking people. So let's go ahead and wrap this right now by you telling me some stuff about what you see there. I'll work my way around the room. Probably, Harrison, you raising your hand? Probably going to start over there and work my way around. So Harrison, tell me something you see there.
Well, the higher the pendulum, the more potential energy there is.
Perfect. Thanks. Give me a nice single thought like that. That's the first one that came out of the last class too, so that's a good sign. The higher the pendulum, the higher the potential energy. And that's something that should make sense to you at this point. Aiden, what do you see?
Kinetic energy bar goes up when it is released and goes down to the next side.
Yeah, when it's released and it goes down towards the next lift, the kinetic energy is increasing. Cool. What else do you see, Noah?
The kinetic energy bar starts building at the highest point of the pendulum, on the other side.
Yeah, the potential energy starts building when it gets to the other side, the highest side. Yes, perfect. Great. Yes?
There are 2 points where they're both even.
Ooh. There are 2 points with now and then right. Oh, I missed it. Because my brain's slow. Now. I'm having way too much fun. Okay, great, perfect. Anything else you could possibly add? Anything else you notice? Levi, you were going to say something earlier. Was it taken from you?
What?
You were going to say something earlier. Was it taken from you?
Yeah.
Okay. How about I prompt you with this one? As the potential energy, can you finish that statement? Just curious. As the potential energy. There we go. I just need a little push there. Now we're in pretty good shape. Henrik, what are you thinking?
As the potential energy goes down, the kinetic energy rises up.
Cool. I needed that from you. And if you understand that, then I can really throw some upper level questions at you. Noelle, do you have something you want to add before I go forward? Go ahead.
It looks like the potential energy bounces back up a lot quicker than the kinetic energy does.
Yeah, isn't that weird? I don't know why. I think it's just the glitch in the little animated GIF. What is it, a shockwave file? It's a shockwave file. Okay. So I think it's a glitch, but I did notice that too, and I was trying to figure out if there's any reason why it happened. All right, finally then, do you mind going ahead and let me know who is that? Who is that? I think it's a creeper. Oh, it's not a creeper. There we go, we're good to go. Is that official business right there?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
What is it?
All right, so I'm excited to go over and read it. All right, so let's check this out. Here is my upper level question for you. I don't know what I'm going to get from you at all, but I'm just going to throw this out there and open those brains wide. If I were to pick up, some of you might not even understand the question, but I'm just going to try. If I were to pick up this bar while it's moving, if I could pick it up and set it on top of that bar, what would it look like? If I could physically pick this one up and set it so it's sitting on top of the blue one, what would that look like as the pendulum swung back and forth? Wow, wow. That's encouraging. All right, Evan, what do you think about it?
Can it be like the same height?
Okay, explain more, because I think you're right there. What do you mean? What's the same height?
Like when the kinetic energy is at like this peak, I guess. Well, it would always be at that height.
The whole thing would always be at the same height. Is that what you're trying to say? That's what you were going to say because you look incredibly angry that he actually formulated that thought because you wanted to say it. Perfect. Lindsay, same thing or is something different? Perfect. Now, everybody else, if you're hearing that for the first time, listen. We're going to take that green and put it on the blue. The total height would stay the same the entire time. We good with that? What would the green and blue do in the box? Inside this bar that stayed the same height the whole time, what would the green and blue be doing inside the box? This is my second high school level question, and then I'm going to hit you with a college level question. Dying to see what we get. Casey, what do you think?
They would be in different parts, so you kind of mix together.
Kind of like mixed together. Cool, I understand that. Some people might want to say something different or say it differently. What were we going to say?
No.
I keep doing that to you.
No.
I don't know why. Okay, perfect. Just mixed together, what do you mean? Then I'm going to draw that out of you a little bit more. What do you mean?
They'd be a different, it's hard to explain. It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. It is hard to explain. That's why I'm asking the whole class to try to do it. Yeah, okay, now Levi, I'm actually going to call you. You need to actually give me an answer. Levi.
Wouldn't it be transformed into a different kind of energy? Because in the brain video it said it can be transformed into electrical energy.
Okay, good. There is definitely an energy this actually gets into my upper level question, which is kind of cool. The two that I have coming at the end, the highest level questions I could ask. Yeah, we're definitely having an energy transfer. So we got potential now jumping over to kinetic. And then we got kinetic going back to potential. So we definitely have an energy transformation. That's cool. Lindsay, what do you want to say?
I'm going to add on to what Casey said, when one of them's, if it was out of 100, when it's the tallest, it's 100, and when it's the shortest, it's 0. So when they're even, it's 50, so it always equal 100, no matter where it is.
Yeah, perfect. So that height stays the same. Here's what a kid in the other class said. You're all saying good stuff. They said that the line between the two would just shift back and forth. It would all be blue, then all be green, then all be blue, and you'd have this line going up and down where it was shifted. I don't know if that makes sense to you or not, but that's what one of the kids said in the other class. But all your stuff is great. Cool. That's the end of the high school questioning. Now the college questioning. I just have 2. I don't know. We'll see. Why does that bar always stay the same? If I put this on there, that height stays the same of the whole thing. Why? There are a couple different ways you can formulate your answer. So here are a few things. Why does it always stay the same? Okay, Bree, you didn't get a chance to go earlier, so I'm going to call on you now. Bree, what?
Because energy can be created and destroyed.
Okay, perfect. I like that. That's a great answer. Law of conservation of energy. Energy can't be created or destroyed. What can it do? What can it do? Does anybody remember what it can do? Can't be created, can't be destroyed. What can it do, Matt?
About the
Oh, no, good. Change the subject. That's fine. Go.
but about the pendulum with the bar can only it's only going this high. The higher the pendulum goes, the higher the bar is going to be for kinetic. So
if I put it back here and had huge potential, when I let it go, then the kinetic's going to be bigger too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no matter how far I pull that pendulum back, those are always going to be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, a great statement. I like that. Changing the subject, but still a great statement. Absolutely love it. Noelle, what?
Because there is only a certain amount of energy that this pendulum is producing. So, and it's half, kinetic is half, potential is half. So if you were to put it on top of each other, the line would move instead of adding to it because you can't, because there's no, as it goes, there's no force being added on to the pendulum.
No, you could not give me though you have thoroughly, I think, frightened Andrea at this point. There is nothing you could say even better than that. You add your answers, and I'm going to take yours in a second. The total amount of energy in this system is the same. I raise that pendulum, tie them all together, everything you're saying, and I raise that pendulum, I put a certain amount of energy in. When I let go of it, that's all the energy it's going to get. And that energy never, ever, ever changes, ever. The total amount has to stay the same. It can transform back and forth, but the total energy stays the same, which is the law of conservation of energy, like you said, and you put it into other words. And now Levi's going to bring it home by saying something good. Never mind. No, it's all right. Levi, go.
Well, there's 100% energy in them.
Mm-hmm.
So when the pendulum goes back and forth, it can only be split up into 100. So the potential energy would have it would have 75%, so then connect would have 25%, so it would always be equal because they always have 100% together.
Yeah, tie it all together, it's perfect. That is a lot of conservation energy. You put 100% of the energy in the system, 100% of the energy stays in. I guess I'm gonna ask it then. I can't help myself, but ask the real life question to you then. If you swung this pendulum in real life, this wouldn't happen like this. It would start off like that, but eventually it would slow down and stop, right? You swing a pendulum, it doesn't swing forever. You don't put a baby in a baby swing and push them and then it goes forever and ever, unless you have one of those wind-up ones. You ever seen the wind-up ones that are like click, click, and it adds a little bit of energy each time, okay? When you take a pendulum like the one that we have up here and you swing it, it's going potential, kinetic, potential, kinetic, potential, kinetic, but eventually it stops, all right? Why does it stop? It seems to break the law of conservation of energy. This thing says all the potential becomes all the kinetic, and all the kinetic becomes all the potential. Why eventually will the pendulum stop? This one won't, because it's not in real life, but that one will. Why will it eventually stop? Why?
Air resistance and friction.
Air resistance, friction, and all those types of things robs little bits of energy. It steals energy out of the system. It steals part of the 100% that we have. But guess what? Friction is not a form of energy. So what's going on with it? It must be turning it into some form. So what form is it turning into? It can't turn into air resistance. That's not in the Meach. It's not one of our forms. It can't turn into friction. Friction's not one of our forms. So what's it turning into?
Don't say anything now.
What's it turning into? Heat. It is turning into heat. And absolutely everything you do will eventually wind up as heat.